All right, so in this video, I'm going to talk to you about high-ticket coaching sales. Now, this is my perspective on the best way to do this, and I'm going to take you on a journey to show you exactly what this has looked like for me and how you can accelerate in selling high-ticket coaching programs or services. In this video, we're going to cover the quickest journey to making a sale. We're going to go through the pyramids of profit. This is a very interesting component to what I'm going to teach you. We're going to talk about something that's very important, the two must-have ingredients to selling high ticket, and it's imperative that you have this. And then finally, and I want you to stick around for this to the end of the video because this is super cool, we're going to show you the exact code that we use that has helped us sell more than 12 million in total sales. This is an awesome journey, and this is probably one of the most important videos you're going to watch over this next while. Okay, let's get stuck in. So, for me, the journey to selling was not an easy one, right? When I first started out selling, there was a lot of stuff that I didn't know. At first, sales really sucked. I constantly got rejections. I didn't understand the selling process, but I was persistent in continuing to learn and grow so that I could get better at it. Now, one of the key things that I've always kind of had in my journey is that I did not want to do cold calling. Cold calling was not part of my makeup. It's still not part of my makeup. I don't believe I need to cold call because there is so much opportunity of an influx of clients coming to me. So spending money on advertising for me became a very important component to this in the learning journey. And so in the beginning, things were very hard. It sucked. And I had to learn how to change that around, because when you're spending money on advertising and your sales are going down and you're not making sales, it's a really tough place to be, right? We all want to do the best. We want to make profit. So there was this long journey that I had to go on to get to this place where I was making profit, where it became so much easier for me to sell. That journey has helped me so far do really well. It wasn't easy in the beginning. Today we have a full calendar of bookings, right? We get more than over 30 bookings a week in our calendar. I mean, this year alone, we've had 600 odd bookings and we have about 460 show-ups. So that's a really good show-up rate for the sales calls that we're doing. So when I talk about sales, I've done a fair bit of it. To date, we've probably made about 3,000 sales calls or sales conversations, because not all of our sales is actual calling. Sometimes it's face-to-face and we're talking to people so we can get them over the line. This is my beautiful partner, Sahara, that works with me, and we've created a system to help make profit in coaching and consulting. Now, I'm going to talk to you from the perspective of all the experience that we've gained in making as much as 4.2 million in the last 2 years. Taking all the knowledge and experience that we've built, and I've developed a simple system to help you as a coach or consultant get to the next level. And all these free trainings that we do are based around all the knowledge and experience that we've gained. So please, if you would go ahead, subscribe to this channel, because I'd love to give you more information and share our journey with you to get you to that point where you can be making comfortably $100,000 a month, add a profit margin, and without burning out. So go ahead, snap that subscribe button, and we'll continue with this journey. All right, so let's get started. Now, it's important for us to understand that there is psychology involved, first of all, from getting a person from A to B. The journey starts when they're at a place and it ends at a sale. From this perspective, right? The journey obviously continues, but this perspective, it's a sale. To get that person over the line to sell, there's a lot that happens, because the journey starts for them. They have pain or a problem. I prefer to call it a problem. And the reason why I like to call it a problem, because there's something associated with it. Problems are pains, problems are hurdles, obstacles. So they're all kind of interconnected. But to get them from a problem state to a sales state doesn't just happen magically, because ultimately you can have a ton of people that have this problem, but they're not doing anything about it. And for instance, I like to work out. I go train quite a bit, and I have a pair of running shoes or workout shoes, and they're getting a bit worn. I like to have the best of the best when it comes to running, training shoes, because I like to be comfortable, I like the durability, and I like to have something that's going to last a long time. And so I've had these workout shoes for a very long time, but they're starting to wear down. And it's a problem. It's been a problem for a while, and I've known this. But I haven't done anything about it yet. I should, and I will, be coming to a point where that will happen. And so for me, that journey will be that at some point, I will make the decision to turn the problem into an action. And that's what happens for most people, because even if there is a problem, it doesn't mean that they're going to do anything about it. People have problems, pains, struggles all the time that they don't deal with. They just let them percolate or perpetuate, and sometimes they get worse, sometimes they go away, whatever that may be. But there's problems in everybody's lives. There's only a certain time where something happens when they're going to go from that problem to what's the next step, right? And the next step in this journey is want. Your client or potential client is going to get to the point where they want to move forward. They want to do something, right? And we are taking them on this journey to take them to that place. So they have a problem, then that problem turns to something they want to solve. On one side of the equation, there's emotion, and on the other side of the equation, there's logic. So emotion and logic. And as they're going through this journey, these two parts of our psyche play a big role in the buying decision, in whether to move forward or not. People buy mostly on emotion, but they'll justify it with logic. That's the key context. But you can't have the buying decision without both of them. Mostly people will get to a point where they've had that emotional impact happen, but the logic has to play a role in it. And so when they go from problem, they need to go into want. So the want stage is something where logic is happening and emotion is happening. So the emotional state is that this thing has now become something I want, and the logical state on the other side is something that is now important. At this stage, they've got to this point where they want something, but it's also become important. So the logic and the emotion play together. Still at this point, people want stuff in their lives. They want to have these amazing things, or they want this extra thing, or they want something to happen in their life or to change. It doesn't necessarily mean they're going to take action. But want, and the fact that it's now become important in your mind, means that there's more need or want to move forward, right? For lack of a better word. And so it's only when they get to this point when things start increasing and they're working towards a state of desire. A sale happens when the desire is such a point where it's become urgent. Urgency means is that now the importance of this has become real and I need to do something about it, or I'm going to do something about it. But at some point, what happens is, right, you want something, it's important, your logic kicks in, your emotion kicks in, that emotion increases, the logic increases, so it's justifying that desire. But to work with you, there is a barrier that needs to be crossed, which is called trust. That trust, if they break through that barrier, if you're bringing them on this journey, if you're this roadmap that they're following, it's only when they break the trust barrier, or you've broken through the trust barrier, that the desire and urgency will connect with them to want to do business with you. And then ultimately, the sale is made. This is a psychological journey that everyone goes on that I've found that happens. So they have a problem. They might not take action. But then there's something becomes important that they start wanting this thing more. If it's then at this point, they're doing research and they're looking around. They're trying to figure out who's the best person to do this thing. They found out that you are the person, and over time, you built up this important factor, which is called trust. And once you've got the trust, the desire and urgency increases more rapidly. And then they want to do that business with you. If you understand the mechanics of this, it's super powerful to help you making a sale. Because this here is what I'm going to be really talking about as we go through the rest of this training. There's obviously various layers of people in their psyche as they're going down the pipeline. You obviously have your niche that you're working through, or you have an avatar that is in the context of all of this. And within that segment or sector that you're working in, you have your clients that are problem aware. they realize there's a problem, but they're not really doing anything about it for the most part, because they're at that point where it hasn't become important or it hasn't become urgent. Then you have the people that are solution aware. To the point of solution aware, that want increases, right? So the want kicks in. And they obviously see there's solutions out there and they could possibly get some kind of answer. Then they go through the next part of the journey and they want a remedy. Now, these people that are at this point are obviously in a motivated state and want to get something to fix them up, right? They could have a problem with their children have ADHD, right? They could have been dealing with this problem for a very long time on their own. They didn't know what to do with the situation. It's been frustrating. They've just been dealing with it. They're thinking that it's going to cost them too much money to go down a path of getting a therapist or getting somebody to work with them or getting a coach or somebody to help guide them. Then they find out that there is these options out there. Maybe technology is involved. Maybe something new's come up. Maybe something has happened that they've realized, oh, there's this thing that they can do that's probably going to help them. Now they're doing research and they're trying to figure things out. Now they got this idea that there is these things they can do. They want to start doing it. They want the remedy, right? The remedy is the solution that you could be the one that they want to work with, right? Which is what you're aiming for. So if you've done your job right, they want the remedy and they want you to do it. And then ultimately, when they want the remedy, the thing is that they need to get to is they need to trust that you are the one that's going to do that. And so right down the bottom here, it's trust that takes it to that next level to make the sale happen. Without the trust factor, you're always going to be playing against yourself, because if they trust somebody else over you, there's no desire created, right? Then you're losing the battle. But your competition, if they build the trust and they increase the desire, then they're going to beat you at the game. So it's important to understand that you're getting your clients from want to desire. The desire happens down here after this trust portion, okay? So we're bringing them down into the point of trust. There's nothing else more important on this journey than trust. If you can build trust and you can show that you're trustworthy, everything else after that becomes easier. The journey to desire is a lot more rapid. Okay, so now I want to talk about the two most important words you will ever want to know when it comes to marketing, and this is where your money is, right? Because you can't make a sale without this happening. Most people that I have spoken to or dealt with in the coaching or consulting space don't understand this enough to understand that how much money is not being made because they don't understand these two words. The first word, curiosity. Curiosity is a super important context to making sales. I'll explain that in a minute. The second word is nurture. Nurture. If you want your sales to become easier, if you want to sell high-ticket products easier, you need to be able to have curiosity, an ample curiosity. And then you need to have a nurturing process, because guess what? It takes a lot of energy, a lot of touch points, a lot of showing up and getting in front of your clients for them to take action. When you get these right, this is where you will make money. Every single successful coach and consultant on the planet that is doing well today understands these two components. And so in order to have success, you need to be able to build these into your marketing programs, because if you do that, by the time they get to you, it's easy. The sales are very easy. And most people become laydowns. Now, it's not just as simple as that. You got to put out the system to create all of this stuff, to make it happen. Okay? So how we do this from a context of advertising, we have a system that we call the butterfly sniper targeting system. This is a very powerful way to bring in clients to a point where they're taking action and the sale is made, and it's a lot easier to sell. So we have created this process. Now, if you're paying for ads, and typically we will use YouTube and Facebook. I don't think there's any other platforms you need to really worry about when you're doing coaching or consulting. These are the top performing platforms. You might throw LinkedIn in there, but YouTube and Facebook are, for me, I've never had any issues getting clients by paying for ads in these platforms. It's just a matter of knowing how to set it up properly and how to run your campaigns so that you're getting the results you want. When you're looking at the targeting, you're pulling people down into your funnel. And so when you're doing broad, a lot of people are spending a lot of money. They're doing this very expensive type of advertising campaigns to try and bring these clients in. But you don't need to spend so much to get the clients in. For YouTube and Facebook especially, have created processes where the cost for doing broad marketing can be so much more cost effective if you know how to do it, which brings down your ad costs dramatically, right? When you're targeting the right people, you're not spending as much money on this if you do this process the right way. You've got to attack your broad campaigns in a way that you're spending money on the cheapest way of getting those. We will spend money on engagement campaigns, branding campaigns, views, that type of stuff, and perpetually cycle through these all the time until such point where these people start getting warmer and they'll start clicking on our next layer of ads. When they get to this point here, these campaigns are more targeted and they're getting the results in. And finally, we're drawing down our clients or the client into this loop where the trust factor, we've created a trust funnel, is right amplified. And so now the cost for getting them over the line is so much easier. And guess what? When they get in front of you on a call, they become so much easier to sell because they've got so much of you in a period of time, whatever that period of time is, that they just want to do business with you. They can see the value that you've created through this process, getting out there and showing up all the time, that by the time they've got to you, it's just easier to do. And the cost for doing that is a lot cheaper when you do it this way. And it's about just following the process of how you're targeting and retargeting. Right? You're starting with engagements, and then you go into re-engagements, custom segments, more custom segments, and broader audiences. Starting at these top end there, and then bringing them down and retargeting them to a point where you got them engaged and you're going to make the sale. Okay? This is called the butterfly sniper targeting system. We do these ads campaigns in such a way that it's built around warming up the audience, getting them connected with you, watching all the content that you're putting out there at a low cost. Then ultimately you're retargeting them and getting them to a point where they're ready to take action. You've now got them into a want stage. This is where the want happens. And then you're building the trust and then wanting to get them to desire. Okay? Excellent. This works so well that we have dropped our ads costs dramatically, and our clients have dropped their ads costs dramatically because there is more nurturing happening. The nurturing, and then over here, we are constantly nurturing to a point where we've got the trust happening, and then the sale happens so much easier. Alrighty. Now, one of the key ingredients that we've used over the long haul to really amplify our sales. Now, this took me many years to understand, many sales calls. In the beginning, it was a hard battle, but then things got so much easier. We did a lot of research, data, understanding, the analysis of the calls that we're doing. And the one thing is for sure, 100%, and I don't think anyone could argue with this point, is that the sale is made at the point of curiosity. When people start seeing your ads, and they see you over and over again, the more you show up, the more you nurture, the more you in front of people, the more you educate them, the more they're aware of everything you do, the easier the sale becomes. But you still got to sell. When you're selling high ticket programs, it doesn't just happen magically. And so we created a system that works really well. So I call it the SCORE selling system. What this means is there are 5 components that we've used in our selling system to get people, and the idea of this is to take the trust that we've created and their wants and turn this into, desire. Because ultimately desire is the key ingredient. We know that if want to work with us, or that want is turned into desire, they desire to work with us, the selling becomes a lot easier. So this score system is fundamentally driven around creating desire, getting that client into a state of desire so that they're ready to take action straight away. And this want and trust is happening in our pipeline, in our funnel, and then this desire is happening in this process here, where we're just triggering them or getting them over the line. The heavy lifting is already done. Now you're going to get them to make a sale. So firstly, we understand that the first component is we need scarcity. Scarcity is one of the most powerful selling tools you can have. And this is the reason why, and if you watch any of our videos, you understand that. So we have a formula. The formula is the way that we stand out in a crowd. Right? This is the uniqueness that you bring when you're putting yourself out there. So that scarcity is that we have a process or a system that no one else can replicate that is very different to anyone else. And we don't work with everybody. We only work with a specific type of people or certain people or people that are qualified to work with us, right? The next layer up is you need to have clarity. Clarity is super important. Like if somebody is confused about what you do, if you've got a client there that's trying to figure out what it is they're going to really get out of you or from you, and there's no clarity, it's very hard to build the desire. Clarity is a really important building block to that desire. They need to see and know what they're going to get. They need to see that journey, and that journey is going to be doable for them and what it looks like. Even if that journey is going to be hard, having clarity about that journey is one of the most important things. And when you have this component in your sales presentation, your sales pitches, or your sales call scripts, it helps you get that connection happening with your clients so that they feel that desire building. Next thing there needs to be is ownership. Ownership. Now, when it comes to ownership, this is on the client. The client needs to have their ownership on the decision-making process going forward. If you're pushing them on the path to making a sale, you're breaking that loop and you'll lose them. You'll build sales resistance and they'll pull away. You can't push somebody over the line. They have to want to come. And so you've got to kind of encourage them or pull them into that place of wanting to make a sale or to want to do business with you. If they have ownership of the decision to work with you, if it's their idea, boom, the next part of the sales process becomes so much easier. Then another big component that I found is that you have to have this is rapport. That could be spelled wrong, but rapport, right? Rapport is one of the most valuable assets you can create. Having people feel comfortable with you, connected with you, engaged, knowing that you're somebody that they can talk to, somebody that resonates with them, somebody that they want to work with. If you have rapport as one of those key building blocks to your sales process, it helps break down so many barriers. A bit of a laugh, a bit of friendliness, a bit of connection. That is super, super important for people to want to have the desire to work with you. And then finally, this here is the killer, right? This is, if you don't have this, you're obviously losing sales. I learned the hard way that if I didn't start doing this thing, I was never going to be successful at selling. And it's a hard thing to do for me because I'm kind of a more standoffish type person. And so empathy. The problem, one of these things is missing. When I'm selling, when it's happening smoothly, it's just easy. First of all, they're coming to the pipeline super warm, and then this, getting them over the line just becomes so easy. You don't have to drag people along. You don't have to spend so long trying to sell to them. They don't believe you, all that stuff, blah, blah, blah. When you have this context happening for you, you will never, ever not be able to sell. All right, so what I've been teaching you today comes from our Coach Launch formula. This is our pathway to helping you get to $100,000 a month, 5 times faster, and at 60 to 80% profit with zero burnout. Now, we have zero burnout because I see so many coaches and consultants burning themselves out, trying so hard to get through all this stuff because they don't have systems in place. If you don't have good systems in place, you will burn out. And today I spoke to you about this component in our program. It's about clients, getting clients and the sales process, what it takes to get them over the line. We have 2 other components as well. Equity, which is building your value, right? So making something so valuable they can't resist it. Pillar 2 is clients, so good they just can't ignore you. And pillar 3 is getting rid of this burnout, right? Having systems, controlling and making it so simple, you become unstoppable. If you're interested in learning more about this, there'll be a link below. You can come and join us in our school or come and catch up with us directly. One of our guys will be able to help you straight away. I would love to be able to help you and show you how we can change your life with this powerful system. There's nothing like this out there. I can assure you this is the fastest way you're going to get to building a world-class business and getting to that $100,000 per month faster. So I want you to go watch this video next. It's how to create your signature program. You're going to learn how to create a powerful high-ticket program that's going to be able to take you to the next level. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Matthew White. I will see you on the next one. Take care. Have a good day.